So I'm going to talk about what never happens around here, which is plans changing, right? Never happens. Never happens. And a couple of times when it does, people are fine. So I remember in the early days of the Abbey, you know, when we would gather and talk about what we were going to do that day, and we all had our little list and our plans of what was going to happen. And then, of course, the day would start and none of that happened. And who knows what? We'd get a phone call, somebody would come up the hill, we would have a different idea, we realized that the way we had planned our day was cockamamie and we needed to change it. And all of a sudden, everything was turned upside down. And I remember at the beginning of the Abbey days, people would freak out when plans changed. And I remember us even talking about it. Do you remember that? And people saying, but I plan my day, and I can't even get through half the day, and the plan changes. And I can't stand this. I can't work like this. You know? And people were really having a hard time with it. And I just kind of said, well, you know, what can we do? Other things, other factors come in. Life happens. Things come in that we have to pay attention to. We can't just fixate on a plan and, you know, this is the whole way that it's going to be forever and ever. Yeah? And we have to learn to be flexible. And people said, flexible! But then it's really amazing to see over time what's actually happened, and people have become flexible, you know. And we actually have made it into a joke of, you know, well, don't plan more than half a day because it's not going to happen. And we all laugh now, you know, at our morning meetings when we all say what we're going to do during the day, and then that's not what happens. So I think for myself personally, you know, I'm finally learning a teaching that Gyamche Zopa Rinpoche has been giving me for a long time. You know, and if you're one of Rinpoche's students, one of the first things you need to learn, which I say I'm a slow learner, that's why I'm only getting it now, is that once you have a plan, you know what's not going to happen. Okay? Because Rinpoche will plan things, and then like that, the plan changes. A schedule will be made for teachings, boing, that's not what happens, you know? And you just have to learn to relax and go with it. And for years, I couldn't do that. It was driving me totally nuts, yeah? Now, I think, like I said, you know, I'm a bit of a slow learner, but, you know, finally getting it. And, you know, building a building, boy, what a good experience for plans changing. Do they change, Venerable Tarpa? They change all the time. You know, you expect so-and-so to be out there today doing this and that. That's not what happened, is it? Not what happens, you know? And so we just have to, somewhere inside of ourselves, learn to relax about it and to realize that plans changing, we don't have to impute on that success and failure, blame or praise. None of that has to be put onto the situation. It's just, you know, people change, ideas change, situation changes. It's not right and wrong. It's not success or failure. It's not your fault or my fault. It's not I'm inadequate and I did something wrong, or you're stupid. It's not any of those things. It's just what happens. Yeah? And so in that way we can relax and kind of learn from situations and how they're changing and you know, kind of deal with them instead of getting tight and rigid and crazy about it. Okay? But so this is really something that we have to practice with. Okay.